You know, there's a saying in Romania, if you dig a hole for someone, make sure that you don't fall in it yourself. And this accurately describes that saying. Here you have the ActMan. Community notes exposes so many liars, grifters, and so much misinformation on this platform, it's unreal. And here we have the ActMan itself, claiming that it's false. Nexus Mods is not working to delete mods that remove pronouns from Starfield. It's really telling how manufactured most of the outrage is, when so much of it is just straight up lies. Community notes, this is actually true. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent of deliberately be against inclusivity or the church of diversity, then we will take action against it. I genuinely do not believe that people like ActMan can be this misinformed. Like if you're a content creator, surely you need to have your hand on the pulse. It's almost impossible to have so many examples of mods that have been removed from the site and pretend that you do not think that there is an agenda that they're pushing, that it's ideological. We are in 2023 when race swapping and gender swapping is required almost by Netflix, by Amazon, by many streaming services, and yet when that race swapping and gender swapping is reversed, we see progressives being incredibly outraged and furious and livid. And the question is that no one ever asks them, why do they care so much? I mean, there was an artist that got harassed a couple of weeks ago because he drew Ariel White. You cannot pretend that you do not know that this is happening. These posts are viral. What type of progressive bubble do you have to live in order not to notice that there is a clear double standard? Now, at least you have certain honest progressives that acknowledge that there is a double standard and they say, but that's a good thing. That is amazing. We love the double standard, and that's fine. But to simply pretend that you don't see when progressives are harassing VTubers over the Wizard game, and you only see when AZ is having a 2 minute rant, that is incredibly disingenuous. I refuse to believe that if you're a content creator, if you're a person with a job which has to go out and you work for 8 hours and then you come back home and you don't have time to deal with any of this, I understand, but this is why we content creators exist, is to inform that person, because we have more time. We spend more time on the internet, we're gathering data, so it's easy to make these predictions. Yes, Nexus Mods is a far-left radical website which happens to host a couple of mods on their platform. To pretend that this is not the case is to be insanely disingenuous. Now, the reason that this upsets me is because if you go to Nexus Mods, they do all of the sins of the woke, including saying, hey, don't like it, leave. Right? So I'm genuinely curious how many people are going to leave. I think this is authoritarian to the extreme. And I said this on the Archcast. It's up until now, there was the argument that what happens into the sanctity of one's bedroom is no one's business. And I feel most people agree with that. What you do in your bedroom isn't the business of John across the street. John doesn't need to know what's in your bedroom. But apparently the moderators from Nexus Mods, they have to know if in your bedroom you're not playing a mod that they don't like. They are literally that authoritarian. The fact that you can live your life and behave in a way that they don't know about pisses them off, right? So they have to ban any mod that they disagree with. And what I find interesting, right? Again, race swapping and gender swapping is the norm. Finding a movie that's a sequel or a prequel in 2023 that doesn't race swap or gender swap a character is incredibly rare, right? So that's fine. They don't find that racist or problematic at all. However, if you try to revert that, that's when they step in. So basically, I genuinely believe that, well, obviously progressives are racist. I don't have to, point it out that the Democrats are the real racists in this video. But when they say white people have no culture, this is what they believe, a self-fulfilling prophecy. They literally want that. They view a game which has too many white people as a problem, as something that needs fixing. We see this with Walt Disney. We see this with the TV show Friends, which recently had all the actors meeting together and the critics were livid. It's like, well, there's so many white people. We see this like on Twitter with gay journalists and other activists like showing a group of white people together, and it's like, oh, well, where's the people of color? Care to explain that? And like legitimately it bothers them. Like they view it as sinful. Like they view it as something unholy that only they can fix. And the problem that I have with Nexus mods and all of these other websites, which in the beginning they advocate for free speech, and in the beginning they attract people simply because they are allowed to post everything there. And it usually takes years for people to build a community, to build a following. And once they know that people are hooked, then they bring the censorship. Like no one would have ever used Nexus mods in the beginning had they known that they will behave like this. There were many alternatives in the beginning. But, you know, like people would naturally gravitate towards one website or another. And the moment that they realize, all right, well, we have enough people, let's bring on the authoritarian shit. Let's show that we can dominate what they do. Let's impose our will upon them. That's what I find it disgusting. And by the way, like if it was a religious website doing the same, like, oh, we're going to remove any sinful mods. Like imagine an alternative universe, right? Where like all of these games are starting to add Bible quotes in them. They're starting to add a prayer before you launch the game. You know, like it's very obnoxious. Like even if you're a religious person, you're like, dude, I just want to play a video game. Like why can't they leave me alone? Just let me play video games. But when people are removing that from the game, it's like, okay, well, we remove this. Then Nexus mods go, no, we're a Christian website. We are going to ban any mod that goes against Christianity. And it's like, okay, well, see, when you say, like, why do they care about the product? Is this behavior, is this shit that really bothers me? Like, up until now, mods were considered to be okay. Like, any type of mod. It doesn't matter. Why? Because you're installing it on your computer. No one else gets to see it. It's for you only. It's for your own viewing pleasure. There is absolutely no justification for someone to take it away. Like if someone were to add pronouns in a game and make it a mod, go for it. If someone was to make transgender Geralt, I don't fucking care. Like literally anything. Like I can't think of any mod that I would be against. I just can't. At the end of the day, I don't have to download it, right? Like just don't download it, don't click it, block, mute. Like there are options. Right? No one forces people. Like, if mods were forced upon me, then I would be upset. But as long as you don't have to install it, what is the big deal? What is the problem? But apparently, like, it just shows their true colors. It just shows how authoritarian they are. I think they're getting a kick out of it. I legitimately think. I think it excites them. I think it arouses them. The fact that they have power over other people and get to decide what other people puts on their computer or not, I think it gives them a rush. But maybe you guys have different explanations. Let me know what you think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.